Greetings and welcome to episode 115 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod Great Britain campaign. This, my friends, how we left it last time, where we had a terrific battle here, my friends, in and around Hanover, particularly here in Braunschweig. As you can see here, it's been a terrific battle, including look, I mean, this army is an absolute phenomenon, it really is. But look, even it took a sound thrashing here from the Poles. The council said, Maddie, you need to do something about this, because the Poles are starting to build up quite a strong force here, threatening the border here, potentially punch through and sort of move in and also reinforce these armies that are sort of almost laying on the sort of our northern flank here, across our sort of almost cutting the road here. We've got to be careful, we've got to be very careful here, my friends. But we've moved in some exceptional forces here to bring them to bit. Look at that, I mean, it's an absolute wonder. These are some of the finest troops we had available. This army here is exceptional, but this army here more so. I mean, look at that, it's a phenomena, it really is. Now, as you can see, we had a particularly difficult battle as well around the fort here, the Fort Hoo battle. They really did throw a lot at us here, the Poles, but we managed to hold them off. But again, with exceptional casualty rates here, 36 men down to here, 43 here. Look at the cavalry. Cavalry took an absolute bashing here, but as you can see, we did have this cavalry 1 regiment here. It had 225 cavalry in here. It was the absolute linchpin of our attack there. Lancers took a real thrashing as well, as you can see here. But we're starting to bring them back up here. We hope now we've driven the Poles back out of our way here, just for the meantime, just for momentarily. Hopefully that can remain so, because we're trying to build up a little bit of a force here that we can actually assault and move in against the Poles. Now they are starting to build up, as you can see here. These are 2 army groups here, and their troops are very good troops indeed. Grenadier Guards. As you look at this, I mean, these are not troops that you sort of can just... These are not conscripts they're using. These are simply some of the finest troops they have available here. Now, we have got our agents out just to keep an eye on them here. General Bishop Monton, of course, keeping an eye there. Our spy master, keeping an eye on things for us. We do know that here in Warsaw is a huge amount of Polish forces, absolutely vast. But there's nothing much here in Vienna, as you can see, very much weakened. But to get to Vienna would take a considerable push. But the shortest route to Vienna is not this way, my friends. It is this way, across the Adriatic. Now, as you can see, we have, for the most part, completely cleared Italy of a Spanish presence. All they have now is the remnants of the force here that we fought in Genoa. As you can see here, look at this for an army, my friends. My goodness me, it's exceptional, it really is. We did bring our finest troops here to clean and cleanse sort of Italy of Spanish presence. All they have now is here in Turin. As you can see here, they hold this pleasure garden here. It is still an exceptional army here they have here. As I said, they're not bringing any weakened troops here. They're bringing some of the finest Royal Cuirassier Guards, of course. Lots of dragoons, lots of cavalry here. But look at that, scouts, line infantry guards, more scouts, engineers as well. We're talking some really powerful forces. But our aim, and it always has been, my friends, right from the off, is to be able to pounce across the Adriatic and strike into sort of almost the underbelly here of the Polish Empire and drive almost a pincer movement here and moving around, trying to get in and around Vienna. Maybe even just sort of surround all of these forces here. So pushing from this front here and then moving out through here, capturing these towns and moving in and trying to pincer around and cut off this huge amount of Polish forces in one gigantic trap. Now, I know that's a real issue with us because we don't have the same amount of forces as them, but if we can start to bite into the Polish Baltic here, it would really be absolutely incredible. Now, some of the council also saying Mali should launch an attack into Istanbul, maybe attack the far flank of the Polish Empire as well and bring it under our control, because that would then draw forces down from here into the Baltic and even further afield here. Remember, we're at war with Russia, and they are allies of Russia. As you can see here, we are up against an absolute huge enemy. I kid you not, my friends. Now, we are allied with Sweden, thankfully, and Sweden has begun to plunder here. Look at this, Komi, and Tataria are under Swedish control. Now that means that for the meantime, the Russians are preoccupied with the Swedes. They've even got St. Petersburg here, so we could see a bit of pressure mounting now on the rear of this massive Polish Empire, which is this extraordinary butt. And so also is the Russian Empire, because they control pretty much everything all the way up to Egypt here. Now we have managed to solidify and reinforce here, with the aim also of moving against the weakened Middle East here. As you can see, the Russians don't have anything in here that can really do us any harm. And I think what we might just do here, I think we just extend out to Anatolia. Let's quickly look what's going on here. And just see what's out here. Have they got anything in Anatolia? Ooh, I do beg your pardon, my friend. This is look at the amount of forces they've got here. Wow, they really have coalesced around the city here. And that's that's a lot of forces they've got here. So they could probably bring them around here to harass us. We've got to make sure that we don't lose Egypt here. It really has become an anchor here on this flank here in the south.
My eyes are yours.
Let's just look what's going on here. Should we go through the deserts here? No, they've got nothing here. And I'm not sure what's here. We just can't quite see it. The fog of war is still quite deep. But we might just send our gentleman here down to see what's going in Baghdad. A full intelligence picture is absolutely critical here to what we need. Again, not defended very well here. It's defended, but this army's not actually sitting in the city. So Baghdad could be an option as well, but again, that's a long way off. And as you can see here, they control all the way up to the Afghan border, and they control a great swathe here of everything here in the Middle East. Now, we are at war, of course, with Spain. It looks like Spain is sending some troops down our way here, but these are armies that we should not lost of cavalry here. Remember, with this army in here is pretty much a defensive army. It was built with the defense of Egypt in mind. We're also trying to build another force here. Right, let's put any gentlemen in here. As you can see, what else do we need here? I think perhaps we got. Oh, look at that, already in position here. So we're getting some more cavalry, so we can have that mobility. I would like to strike against Jerusalem, but it's this force here, these troops here, that we're a little bit concerned about. And of course, they do control the rest of North Africa here and all the way through here. But we do also hold here a very tight grip here on Madrid. Look at that. Exceptional here. And look at the troops we've got in here. Now, I know that many of the council might say, Mali, you've got some exceptional forces here tied down, but if Spain, and it looks like Spain already starting to move around and surround us here, if they move against Madrid, it's going to cost them dear. It is going to cost them dear. But like that, Walloon Guards, one of my favourite regiments in the entirety of any campaign. It really is. They do have some wonderful forces, the Spanish. Might you hear Spanish bandoleros? That's a wonderful army that is there in Granada. And as you can see, they're starting to cut the roads. We don't get supplies coming through here from France. So this army group here is effectively cut off, because we'd have to fight our way through the mountain pass here to get back into France. So we're effectively trying, unless of course we did a very crafty thing, which is to move to the coast. But even then, they're starting to block off the coastal roads as well. And that they do have some exceptional forces here, my goodness me. And also they've got the anchor here, as you can see, because they've lost Madrid. They're starting to build up Lisbon, Palacio del Real de Madrid here. Madrid here, look at that. The army here, they're starting to grow quite powerful armies here in Lisbon. So we've got to be careful. We do have some excellent fleets here, and we've got this Polish fleet here trapped. We're not going to engage it, and we are slowly starting to build up a navy here, but it won't be able to come out, because if it does, it'll have to engage in combat here. As you can see, we've pretty much cut off all gold coming through the English Channel here. We've got Venice here. We wanted to try and keep Bristol open here, because they have been targeting it quite a bit. Now, let's have a quick look at our diplomacy. Now, the Hamilcar Empire is friendly. United States, of course, they're a wonder. Now, they are allies with ours, the United States. Let's have a quick look at what's going on over here. Now, we do have Arcadia here. We are just seeing what's going on here. But as you can see, we've got Quebec now starting to move against the United States here quite aggressively. We are at war with Louisiana, of course, and they've taken these as well. So the United States is moving down further. But look at this all here. Look at all this under fire here. I mean, look at it. It's the raiding and the fighting going on along the border here is extraordinary. And it looks like we've got US forces moving deeper into Upper Canada here. They got Venice, they got Rupert Land. I'm going to take that there. We don't have this forces just yet. And also, as you can see, that's being hit there pretty hard, and so is this. So our income from America is taking a real beating here because they are under a lot of pressure here. I think they might have sent all their forces up here to try and take Canada. If they do, the United States will become very powerful indeed. Now we do have Bahamas under our control. I would like to try and move against some of these here, but alas, we don't have the forces to do that. They've got quite a lot tied down in Spain, Italy, and also in Central Europe here as well. The battle here is extraordinary. But we've done all we can at the moment. We're going to earmark. Also, we're going to move against Venice. Now, Venice is, as you can see, they've managed to rebuild themselves here, but they've lost quite a few troops just to attrition. But look at that army there. 4 Swiss line infantry regiments, exceptional troops. But look what we've got here, ready to move it. Look at that. Some of the absolute finest forces we have available, all ready to move in against Madrid, against Venice. If we take Venice, it'll unlock pretty much all of Italy under our control, but it'll also give us direct access to Poland here, and into Austria even. Look at that. We'll be able to move them through the mountains here, through the Alps. Be able to feed these forces in, if need be, and join, so we can feed forces from Munich into the Venice here and move through here. My goodness me, the options are so extraordinary. But we've also got an army here, right on the edge here, the boot of Italy here, and that's taking a real thrashing as well. I mean, look at some of this, down to 31, down to 14 men. 32 here, the Royal Cuirassier Guards. It was a heck of a battle here. As we tried to remove the last real Spanish army, the last danger here we had in the south here. But also, as you can see here, we can get a commercial port, but I don't think we need one because there's not going to be any link here. As you can see, there's no link. I don't think there's any point us having this. I think probably the best thing we can possibly do, if I'm not mistaken, is get some more fishing fleets up and running here. So what we might do, is put this, and then we make this a fishing port, and we've only got 13,000 coming in, but we have managed to build a bank of 128,000 gold. So again, we're just trying to balance the books as well as balance our forces as well. But let's just see what happens here, my friends. And we could probably repair this here just to show the Poles that we're not going to be moved here at all. And we're also repairing the artillery fort, which took a real beating as well. And we have surrounded Hanover here with some exceptional forces. I hope this I'd like to move these out of the way. You don't want these to get caught in a fight. We might just move them back here to Munster, because they're in no shape to take a fight here. I think that's all we can do, my friends, for this particular turn. Let's end the turn here. And they've got a lot of money coming in. Look at Venice here. Look how much money comes in here from Venice. 10,000. So still getting money coming in here, but if we can take this, there's that very powerful Polish fleet here, but we've got our own fleet here. They might move against us, but we can always move back here back into Cairo if need be. I think we are. Yeah, we're putting more ships into the fleet here, but I'd like to try and get this up to maybe 200,000 gold if need be, just to give us that breathing space. But if we could take Venice, it would be a huge boon. Only 2,000 Caesar there. They're not at full capacity here by any means in the treasury. But let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens. I think we've got we've got everything here we can get. So we don't really need this here. Oh, we can't destroy it because there's an army in here, unfortunately. Otherwise I would destroy that. But let's see what happens here around Madrid as well, because that really is going to be... Yeah, we're just reconnoitering here what's going on. I know what Spain will do. That's the key here. Oh, yeah, they're just gonna. I thought they might have moved into France, but they're not going to do that. Ah, a battle. Looks like Sweden's been sent packing, but unfortunately, but they have, at least they've stood with us. Yeah, looks like they're going to destroy that one fleet there. Oh, that is crafty. Look, they're gonna try and move for Paris, but they've moved out. So now all of that is under our control. But we're gonna have to be careful here. We don't get caught napping here by the Spanish there, because they're gonna move for Paris by looks of it. Now it depends what Poland's gonna do here. They're moving more forces down here to reinforce their front. Yeah, thought so. Yeah, I don't think Berlin is going to fall anytime soon. But they're weakening Prague to do so. I wonder. Yeah, they're reinforcing the fronts here. As I said, my friends, we can fight them on very narrow front. But they do have an extraordinary amount of troops. But I think what we're going to try and do is just try and chip away at the Baltic here. So we're going to get our troops up and running, and we might launch an attack into the Baltic, into the Balkans, sooner rather than later. They do have an exceptional amount of troops also, as I said, in Warsaw. Extraordinary amount. Let's see what Poland decides to do here. Obviously moving troops about and deciding what they want to do here, how to counter us, but they can't move directly against us here because they know that we're fully prepared. Look, see, they're moving back out of the way here. Ooh, that's a large fleet there, my goodness me. And now they're going to start to harass here. We've got to expect this. We can't. Oh, look at that, hitting the port here. But they're separating their forces. We can pick these forces off one at a time here. Which is exactly what we want to do. So this episode might be where we just prepare ourselves for what's to come and move our forces in preparation of where we want to be here. We might not engage any of these forces just yet. Let's just line up all our cards first and then see where we go from there. I think that'll probably be the best option for us. We're going to keep some of these, I think we'll keep these agents just in place here so we can see the movement as they flow through their territories. We just keep an eye on what the placement of these troops are here. They're going to hit our lines here. So we'll feel the effect of that. Now what will Russia do? We know that Russia's under a lot of pressure from Sweden. Reinforcing Anatolia there. Or Ankara, yeah. But moving some troops out here. Are they worrying about what we're going to be with Sweden now? What will Sweden do? Sweden have been a really good ally for us. They really have. They've been a staunch ally. One of the few allies we have, actually. Apart from the United States. I'll be intrigued to see how the United States deal with Canada and Quebec. That'll be an interesting... Look at that. See, they're moving out here. So they've divided that force here. Here we go. Yeah, they're gonna hit hard here. I think the United States now. They got to look at the size of that force there in Falmouth. If they take Boston, that'll be a huge loss. No, they're not moving out. Wait a minute. Ah, rebels. Yeah, they've moved in, taken Turin here, but I don't think that's going to last very long. We will be moving forces in. Oh, excellent! We've got it in Scotland here. I think we will send the gentleman. I think we can get. He can jump on a boat here. We might just send him up this way here to keep an eye on what's going on in and around here. We have no eyes there at all. And let's see what's going on here. Egypt has had a huge recruitment drive here, as you can see. So we're going to move them into here. Now what do we need? We've got these two here. We'll go into there. That's us done here. Do we need to retrofit any of these armies here? No, we don't. So these gentlemen, we've got quite a lot of forces here.
Yes.
We can probably put. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Ready. Ready for order.
Gentlemen,
Forward.
we can take one more cavalry.
Troops. Forward. Yes, my lord.
So this now is an excellent force here.
Make ready.
I think we don't need these. With these gentlemen, I'm not going unless we can use them to raid. We might use these small here to raid some of the behind the lines here, I think.
Immediately. Halt.
So let's start taking the behind the lines here with these. We might make use of them here. Now, Wittenberg as well has seen. Look at that. That's excellent. That's seen recruit more. That's a wonderful force there. My goodness me. As you can see, they're starting to move in here. They're trying to push us out here. We need to deal with this force here. Anywhere else? In the Netherlands as well. Oh, that's excellent. We've got more ships here. 142,000. That's gone down there as well, probably because we've got more troops. As you can see, we're trying to build another army here. Any recruitment? No, we don't. So let's make this our one last army in this particular region here at the moment. So we do need a general, and we'll spend some additional money here on getting some cavalry. Do we have any cavalry at the moment? No, we don't. We have 4 cavalry, a standard procedure, and we'll also have our standard artillery support. Make this a powerful army here. Anywhere else? Netherlands, Wittenberg, no. Oh, Central Italy. Here.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
Again, we're putting another. Oh my goodness me. What we want, I think we might do, is switch this around. This army here is more akin to defence. We might move this army here. This army here, I think, will be moved down to here. We'll swap these over. We can't leave this army in there. It's just too good for that. Let's prepare them here for moving against here. Actually, look at that. All these armies are now ready to move across into the Balkans. We can move an army group across into the Balkans. Move these gentlemen to here. Let's continue our. What do we also have here? Army. We definitely need some more cannon. Principally howitzers. They really are the backbone. And now engineers, I don't want to really keep them in here, so I'd like to. Sharpshooters, yeah, sharpshooters are excellent. But I think we'll just keep them a plain defensive force, as it were, in so many words. Now this army here is not ready, not quite ready. It's almost fully replenished to move against the event. We might just move in one go here. Now I think what we will do is we'll put an end. Now this is Field Marshal Ernoch. Now Field Marshal Ernoch, I think we're going to send. Well, not I think. We know for a fact it's going to be the leading force into Venice. I think we're going to retake Turin here. No, I think we can just. No, that's going to be quite the fight here. So I think we'll take this fight here because we don't want to lose this force here. It's exceptional. And they've brought some experienced troops here, but they've mostly got hardened citizenry here. So I think we'll take this fight here. We've got the fire support on them anyway, at least, and we don't have any cavalry, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll simply just move in here. If we take Turin, we've captured the entirety of Italy, apart from Venice. So let's just continue the siege just momentarily while we get other things arranged here. Now we can't move in here, so we're just going to move in a little bit closer here, keeping because we can only cross here and here. So I'd like us to start to put our forces.
Immediately. Ready and awaiting orders. Forward. Ready for orders.
We know they can probably move across here and start hitting. So we'll leave this one army, this army here to protect our flank here.
Yes.
And this army group, once it's fully complete, will be then sent in with Field Marshal Luck to assault Venice. And we've also got these forces here. Now they're not quite right just yet. We can't.
Yes.
Actually, what we do need is we need our ships. So we do need some ships here. We need some sloops. Do we have any other ports? Yeah, this one, but we can't use that there at the moment, unfortunately. And we make this now a local fishery. When can we detach one of these? I'm loath to detach one of these away here, to be honest with you. I wonder if we could send one from here. Indeed. So let's send it. We can't do that just yet, can we? That's a shame. Will it go into the port here? Yes, it will, so we can stay here for the moment. That's absolutely fine. Barcelona raided. That's fine. Yeah, we know that. So, yeah, not for long. It's not Bahamas. Not for very long. Plus under subterfuge. So we're just keeping everything under control here, so we can keep an eye on what's going on. Movements. They have moved in here. I don't really want to commit this army here to attacking this. So I think what we might do is once this army here is ready, we'll move it down to deal with this here. We've also got this force quite clearly moving to Paris. We have got an exceptional force ready here to defend here. And I think... now they haven't moved against us anytime soon. We don't mind this. They haven't moved against us here at all, but I think they probably know that if they come against us here, they're going to lose a considerable number of troops. So it's tying down all of these troops here, being tied down because of Madrid. It's giving us time to get our act together here. And what about anything else? Nothing out here on the Swedish front here and the Russian front, unfortunately, but still we've got a good... we've got a good alliance here, and as you can see, look at that, a lot of money trading flow between us here. Hasn't been cut off, but I'd like to move against these forces here and try and bring them under siege here as well. We've got the force. Yes, look at that, we've got the force here to do it. What's the army will be facing? And what about here? Yeah, that's a lot of cavalry, so we need something to
Your orders, Your Majesty.
I think we need something like this to really hit that cavalry, because we've got a lot of forces here that will stand firm against that cavalry.
Your humbles.
But also we've got the fire support in which to really do the cavalry a lot of damage. So we might just move this force here. No, actually, let's just wait a second.
We can't do that, sir.
So we've got this. We've got Savoy under siege now, so that'll be under our control very, very soon. We're going to be moving against Venice now as well very soon. We've got these forces here, which we'll just bring together, I think. Ready. We've got this army group here that's going to strike against the Balkans. We've got this force here that's going to be guarding Naples. It is a defensive force. We've got this force here, which is another defensive force being built to defend Rome. And we've also got
Ready for order.
General Charles here, which is again being prepared.
Ready and awaiting orders.
I'd like to... it's replenishing, so it's having some R&R here. It's almost done. As you can see, just 4 more units need some replenishment with there. This army here I like to use just to guard this flank here, so they don't cross or come across in through here.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
So then, with that in mind, let's just move this force here to block them.
March!
And they've left 3 of the Swiss guards here. Now that is unusual to say the least. And this army here, a lot of cannon. And also some marines, but conscripts as well. Bringing this under siege. And also up here, I think we'd like to clear this port, clear this flank here, I think, with using these forces here. So I think the first things first is to deal with this army here, which I think, my friends, will be fighting next episode, because we've got, that's a lot of cavalry, so we need something that's going to stand tall against the cavalry. And I think this force will definitely do that. What have we got here? Yeah, we've got this force to deal with this, and what about these gentlemen here? That's, again, a lot of cavalry. Well, yeah, these would aid them, so these here would come in as reinforcements for this. As you can see, they're pretty much in touching distance here. So let's just do this now, and then we'll take this fight next episode, my friends. So we're going to clear the port here of Cuxhaven, and we're going to clear this flank here of all Polish forces. Just these here. That's being fully repaired here, and these gentlemen, they're going to take quite a while to replenish here, aren't they? Let's be honest, but let's move in. Let's fight this. It'll be for next episode, my friends. Look at that. Lots and lots of cavalry. But we're going to stand firm here. We can, I mean, look at this. It's an exceptional force. It really is. It'll only increase its experience and its veterancy here. And we can then hopefully, once we clear this flank, we might start to push into Poland's territories further east with this army group here. But only once it's cleared the flanks. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's just been one way we've just been preparing for what's to come, because I'd like to really get things organised first before we sort of jump in to a battle. So we've got everything tied down, all our forces in place where they're meant to be. That way the next episode we can really push hard, and we'll have several fights. We'll have this fight, we'll have the other fight in Saxony, we'll also have probably us pushing in against Venice, and also we'll launch our assault into the Balkans all in one episode. So this episode has been setting that up, my friends, but I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, thank you for your wonderful support, wonderful advice. It's been absolutely exceptional as always, my friends. Whatever you do, my friends, as always, please be safe, but until next time, bye for now.